It was a hell of a week. Those of you who know me know that I'm a keen observer of the human condition. This week I went to Walmart in South Philly. I needed some oil for my old van, and I pulled into the parking lot and got a space up close to the door. Lucky me. I'm getting out of my car, and there's a slot in the row behind me. It's one of those head-to-head slots. You know, my wife calls it a mommy slot. You pull in and pull through, so you can just pull out. Then the problem with this slot was somebody had left a shopping cart in it. Unfortunately, that did not deter the guy who wanted the slot, and he came driving in and hit the shopping cart about 10 miles an hour, knocked it out, crossed the lane into a car across in the opposite row. It bounced off and stopped in the middle of the lane. And then he got out, grabbed a different shopping cart, and went into the store. And I thought, I really don't need to park this close. So I got out and moved the shopping cart and parked way the hell out in the boonies. And went in, got my oil, came out, and I was putting the oil in the van, and I see a guy come out. He's carrying a bag, and he goes to his car, and he opens the driver's side door and strips completely naked and changes into new clothes. And I guess he thought, you know, right, the driver's side door is between me and the Walmart, so nobody can see me, but there's the whole rest of the world, including I-95, watching this guy strip naked. I'm trying to get less judgmental in my old age. So I'm trying to think, good, all right, maybe he's not destroying the evidence of a crime. He's got a job interview and he's putting on. But you know, I can't get past it, because the one thing I really can't forgive him for is he stripped completely naked, put on a shirt, a hoodie, and then put on his underwear and pants. And I think it's just simple human decency to cover up the twig and berries first, and then put on your shirt. And, you know, you see guys in the locker room like that, and you know, they're trying to send a message, you know, walking around, no pants on and a shirt. They're sending a message, and it's like, okay. So I sat there in my car after the show, and I was hesitant to leave, because I don't know about you, because I find that in my life, weird things are like celebrity deaths. They come in threes. And I didn't want whatever the rest of the weirdness was to hit me while I was driving. I know there's no logic to that statement, but that's just the way my mind works. So I sat there. And I see a woman come out from the Walmart carrying a bag and a baby. And she lays the baby down on the hood of the car and takes off the clothes to change the diaper on the hood of a car in February. And the baby's not having it. The baby's jerking all around. I'm thinking, okay, the hood's either cold from it being February or it's hot from driving the car. And she takes the diaper off the baby and wraps it up and throws it. The baby rolls and she catches it. And she reaches in to get another diaper. The baby rolls and she catches it. She puts the diaper on the baby, and something goes off with her phone. I don't know, it was a text or whatever, but she turns and looks at the phone, and I'm sitting in my car and I see the baby start to roll. She's completely ignoring the baby. And then my head is just going, oh God, no, oh God, no, oh God, no, please, 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 please. And my hand is reaching for my phone to call 911, and the baby rolls off the hood of the car. And I'm like, oh no, everything's in slow motion. And the mom turns and catches him like an inch from the concrete. It's like, okay, I'm fully weirded for the day I can go home. Now you're probably asking, no, you're probably not asking, but if you were to ask, Dave, what does this have to do with hashtag adulting? Of course, the answer is nothing. I spent the last couple of weeks trying to come up with a story for hashtag adulting, and I couldn't really come up with a story that could be described as charitable. I now teach a lot of millennials, and at my work, we hire a lot of millennials, and so I'm surrounded by people who are now going through the adulting process very loudly. And as they tell me the problems of adulting as a millennial, I nod and I smile. Because I've been in a kind of a situation where I've watched now 4 generations go through the process. Like, I know if my father was asked about adulting, he would say, yes, my adulting was World War II. It was a whole generation whose childhood was interrupted by the Great Depression and World War II, and then the rest of their lives were told to go find their inner child. And then for their kids, the baby boomers, I know a lot of their adulting was Vietnam. And for the rest, it was like they rejected everything that their parents had done until, the whole don't trust anybody over 30, until they became 30. And then they grabbed adulting with both hands and, started asking, how thin should the pinstripes be on my pinstripe suit, and what are the best cigars to smoke, and how do I play golf? And then the Gen Xers came along, and the Gen Xers were like, oh man, this sucks. Whatever. And now the millennials, and I get things like, yeah, the job market's so tough. And I nod and smile, and I don't mention the fact that it's not as tough as it was trying to get a job against the largest generation in the history of the world. And they say, I'm not going to live at the same standard my parents did. I'm not. I will never. I won't be able to afford to keep my parents' vacation home. And I nod and I smile. And I went home and I told my wife the story, because that's where I vent. And my son, who is a millennial and is fluent in smart ass, goes, come on, Dad, just say it. I said, say what? He goes, get off my lawn. But enough about me, let's pick our first storyteller.